Hello, my name is Marcia Edwards, and I would like to take you through a more technical definition of nitrification. First, let's define nitrogen. What is it? Well, nitrogen is the seventh element on the periodic table. It is a lightweight, non-metal, one of the most abundant elements in the universe. Not surprisingly then, it makes up roughly 78% of Earth's atmosphere. Nitrogen is an essential element for cellular production and growth in plants. Though it is plentiful, the majority of organisms cannot use atmospheric nitrogen, otherwise known as gaseous nitrogen or N2. Hence the reason it is the leading macronutrient in most fertilizer applications. Many farmers are invested in cash crops like wheat or corn, crops which use massive quantities of nitrogen with every growing cycle. There is, however, a natural method of turning atmospheric nitrogen into plant food: the nitrogen cycle. The nitrogen cycle is much like the food chain, where the elements move from the bottom to the top and back again. The food chain is a concept we all learned as children, right? Primary producers like grass on the bottom, and so on until we reach the apex predators. So we have to start at the beginning. Ammonification begins when organisms like this cow eats a primary producer like that grass. The cow digests the organic matter, excretes the waste, both solid and liquid, a natural process for animals. The wastes are broken down by decomposers like mushrooms, but the excess nutrients seep into the soil where they are met by microbes. These bacteria break the nitrogen down into nitrogen ammonium. Ammonium still isn't usable, so it too must be broken down. And that is where rhizobium come into play. Rhizobium are a genus of bacteria found on the roots of legumes, or plants that produce seeds in pods like peas or clover. The rhizobium release a thin hair to latch to the roots and live there on those little nodules you see in this picture. There, they spend their life absorbing nutrients from the plant, fixing nitrogen ammonium to nitrites. Now, nitrites are toxic to plants in high doses, so they must be broken down even further. Bacteria, again, are little shining stars, break the nitrites down to become nitrates. And it is in this step, nitrification, plant growth becomes possible. I'd like to pause on this slide to accentuate the importance of successful nitrification. There are only select bacteria that are capable of converting nitrites to nitrates. They usually exist naturally in the soil, but not always. Big agriculture or farming cash crops over time breaks the soil down, diminishing its ability to support even microorganisms. As a result, more fertilizer is added. More runoff occurs, therefore more pollution of our soils and waterways. So nitrification is a very big job for a very little creature. Like the little creatures responsible for decomposition in our food chain, the nitrogen we have followed through this cycle must continue cycling. More microbes break down the nitrates and convert it back to gaseous nitrogen, where it is released into the atmosphere for the cycle to start all over again. This invisible cycle, often far from most human minds, allow us to enjoy not only a bounty of delicious food, but indeed to live.